Redwood Massacre: Annihilation. It's a sequel to a film that you were not in, but
Yeah.
I guess how did that come to you? And in a genre where things can get repetitive, in the horror slasher realm, what was it about this film that maybe stood out?
Uh, she was really similar to another character that I had played in the Hatchet series,
Hmm.
and it had been a while since I had, been back to that swamp. So, and we were filming in Scotland. So, I mean, that was sort of the first thing was like, wait, I get to go where? To Scotland? So that's always really cool because sometimes you could be stuck in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
for a long period of time, and you're like, oh, I don't really know how exciting that's going to be. So Aberdeen, Scotland, 4 month, and I loved the script. I thought it was really fun, and the character was badass, and I had all these really fun fight scenes, and I like doing that stuff. So I hopped on a plane and like literally was off in like a week. It was crazy, and we filmed in the creepiest, eeriest. I mean, you can't build sets like that. The
Right.
locations were just so killer. And the landscape is just like, I mean, picturesque doesn't do it justice.
No, it
So,
definitely is different than your standard walking through the woods type
yes.
scare fest. Like it
Yeah.
looked beautiful,
It was
but also
so,
creepy.
it was so stunning and freezing and dreary and deliciously miserable.
And now you do get to, kick some ass in this film. I'm wondering, when directors, casting agents, are interested in you, you are in so many horror films now. Do they want you to play a certain type of final girl now? And do you think that term has really evolved over time?
Um, I think I play similar girls.
Mhm.
The final girl's always sort of like the every girl next door that can kind of just kick ass and you don't expect it, but you really shouldn't mess with her.
Mhm.
So I always like those characters because they're approachable, relatable, and kind of similar to me, I guess. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously play them, uh but I just kind of do me, like it's sort of hard to, I mean, even the movies that are not horror, I'm still kind of like the tomboy or the
Mm.
trash mouth or so I don't know if even if I'm, playing a mom with like I'm still sassy. Maybe it's because
Mhm.
I'm from New York. I mean, I don't know. But so I'm not really typecast, but I think I just gravitate towards that stuff. And I go, oh,
Okay.
that sounds right coming out of my mouth. Like I can read
Yeah.
a script with two different characters and go, oh, yeah, no, I know which one I'm going to do. Like that makes sense for my brain. So, and the final girl really is just like the survivor, the chick that makes it to the end, the real fighter. So I think there's a difference between like the scream queens and the final girls. I've been a
Mhm.
little bit of both, but I think I end up gravitating more towards the final girl just because the
Yeah.
scream queens are like they usually come in for like the opening and I mean I do those too, and they have like this epic death scene and then you're out. So
Yeah.
it depends on how I'm feeling, if I want to like tackle something or if I have like life things going on where I go, oh, that's a little heavy for me to take on for a month. So it just depends
Yeah.
on where I am in my life.
You did mention how you do go back and forth between Scream Queen slash Final Girl. What's your relationship like with the Scream Queen title? Because I know there are certain actresses that don't like it. Other ones have had moments of time where they didn't like it, but they've come around
Yeah,
to it. Just what's
Jamie.
your relationship been like?
I mean, I would never bite the hand that feeds me. Like
Yeah.
this is my career, like my fan base and the way I'm able to like feed myself and live my life and still do what I love to do more than anything is playing the scream queen, the final girl, like being that. So I definitely don't think that I mean, the queen of anything is great, right? I mean, unless you're like
Exactly.
queen shit or something, but I think yeah, I mean, you're like being crowned, you're being titled. Like I didn't give myself that name. I didn't come in and say
Right?
like I'm the queen. Like, so I accept it gladly with open arms.